I always wondered why my father seemed so absent from my life. And then I realized my father was God. Something I had to search for years to find. My life became a crusade. Constant war over the intangible. I actually met God at a coffee shop with my best friend when she asked me if I wanted to go to church with her. And in that moment, I realized there was a day my father smoked his last cigarette. So I told her I had read through my father's records like scriptures, went to Sunday school to learn about his presence, got baptized in his name before he could name me. She told me she was confused, so I said, well, you see, my father is God. Someone I was told I could count on but wasn't actually there for me. Someone I struggled for so long to love because it didn't seem like they loved me. Someone I had only heard about from the stories from my relatives. They told me I remind them of my father. I said, don't insult my creator. I don't go to church on Sunday because like my father, I am a working man. And no church service has ever been able to service me except for one. They told me God chased runners. So I sprinted away from my problems like they were my father's gravestone, hoping one of them would catch up with me. And when asked what I was doing, I answered with, well, you see, my father is God. And I've been running away from him for my entire life. But now I want him chasing after me. I want him to know I love him enough to fear him. I want to know I love him enough to fear him. Let the cigarette touch my lips the same way it did his. I'll get addicted to his influence and walk every day with my hand held out, hoping he'll grasp onto it like the Marlboro Reds he used to keep in his pocket. Like the Bible I keep telling myself I'll read one day. Maybe if I kept some cigarettes in my pocket, he'd ask me for a smoke. Maybe his lighter will spark this little light of mine inside of my heart, and I will sing it up and down every street I walk. And when asked what I am doing, I will answer with, well, you see, my father is God. Because I visit him when I go to church. Because I miss him. Sometimes I pray to my father, looking for answers. Tell him I love him. Ask him if his habits were worth it. Let the cigarette touch my lips the same way it did his 17 years ago. And I think, maybe I am following in the Lord's footsteps. But I don't smoke. Because God gave us this planet, I think. And I'm alive for a reason, I think. I'm not saying this was the year I found God. I'm saying it's the year I started looking.